I was standing right there when she called me worthless, not during an argument, not whispered behind closed doors. She said it at her sister's birthday party, loud enough for the whole room to hear, like it was some running gag. She laughed, said I was slow in the head and deaf in more ways than one. They joined in. Even her mother chuckled like it was harmless fun. I stood there holding a glass I didn't want, smiling at nothing in particular, pretending I didn't notice the tone she used, or how she glanced at me to make sure I looked clueless. I stared at the birthday cake, like it meant something more than sugar and frosting. I've spent most of my adult life listening halfway. It wasn't always like that. I used to hear everything, but then the silence came. Not sudden, just a slow fade. Checkups, tests, hearing aids, then finally, acceptance. I worked in a steel factory. Loud machines, long hours, zero mercy. You could say I gave my ears in exchange for food on the table and tuition bills paid. Never complained. What would be the point? A man's job is to provide, even if it eats him alive. When my hearing finally vanished, it didn't feel tragic. It felt quiet, like something that just didn't show up one day and never said goodbye. I taught myself to read lips, watch eyebrows, body movements. I filled in the blanks the best I could. I figured love didn't need sound to survive. I was wrong. At first, she made the effort, writing things down, tapping me gently before talking. The kids tried to, but patience runs thin with time. Conversations began happening around me instead of with me. Then they started happening about me. I became background, familiar, worn, ignored. The little things hurt most, like her exasperated breath when I asked her to repeat herself, or how she'd talk over me like I wasn't even in the room. My son stopped asking for my opinion. My daughter stopped telling me stories from her day. Dinner time became a train station. Conversations would fly by, and I'd be stuck on the platform, waving at shadows. Once, I caught my son mimicking me in front of his friends, mocking my hands, my squint, my mumbling voice. They laughed until they cried. I didn't say a word. Neither did my wife. She saw it. She let it happen. That's when something broke in me. I still paid the bills, still showed up at work, still kept the house running. But I stopped showing up in the ways that mattered. Then something changed. A surgery. An implant. Doctors called it breakthrough. Some said it was a second chance. But I didn't tell anyone. Not at first. Maybe I was scared. Maybe I wanted to know what people said when they thought I couldn't hear them. Maybe I just wanted the truth without filters. So I listened, and what I heard wrecked me. She told her friends I was an anchor dragging her down. Said she stayed because it was easier than starting over. Called me a placeholder. Her friends agreed. Her brother made jokes. Her mom told her to prepare for my eventual disappearance. My own son said he wished for a real father, someone who could guide him, not a ghost on the couch. I remembered every sentence. Didn't interrupt. Didn't scream. I just made changes. I had savings. Hidden. Years of sacrifice tucked into an account in only my name. The house was mine, passed down from my father. So I used it, mortgaged it quietly, invested, multiplied, watched and learned while everyone assumed I was too deaf to matter. Then I wrote a will. Careful, ironclad. Nothing went to them. Every cent placed in a trust for my granddaughter, the only one who still sat with me, still held my hand, and whispered in my ear like I mattered. She was 5, the only pure soul left in that house. Then I left, before sunrise. One bag, keys on the table. No letter, no announcement, just silence, a return to sender. They reached out, eventually, when the power was shut off, when the mortgage called in, when the car was gone and the bank account empty. That's when they remembered I existed. She called. Voicemails. First sweet, then bitter, then cruel. My son messaged like I was some stranger he was trying to impress. My daughter stayed silent. Figures. But my granddaughter, she found me. Or her mother did, trying to play nice. Asked if I wanted to see her. I said yes. But only her. Clear boundaries. Now we sit in the park sometimes. She talks, and I really listen. She tells me her dreams, her stories, her drawings. She tells me I'm her favorite person, and I believe it. As for the rest, I owe them nothing. Not my money, not my time, not even my words. They built a life that didn't need me, so I let them keep it. Funny thing about losing your hearing, it's not the sound you miss. It's the honesty, and once you hear the truth, you can never unhear it.